subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Help promote and rank up my channel. We're back to review Loki episode 3. Spoiler warning, this episode fucking sucks. It pretty much ends where it begins. No progress. Nothing. Nothing propels this episode forward. It's complete filler, waste of time. You can count Lady Loki revealing how, mind control works. I'm sure that'll come into play later on for some big surprise twist later in the season. But we're 3 episodes in of a series that only has 6 episodes. Nothing was gained from this episode. You can count that, she reveals TVA agents, which we already suspected. TVA agents weren't created by the TVA. They were people, variants abducted from their timelines, be brainwashed and serve the TVA. None of this is surprising or shocking. This episode does absolutely nothing but weaken the series, water it down, and just make it look like a joke. Open with Lady Loki and TVA chick from in a setting that's really unusual, for good reason, because she's being brainwashed, she's being manipulated to see things that aren't real, and this is at the point where Lady Loki's getting information out of her. And then we jump to where Lady Loki goes into the TVA, uses the portal to go to the TVA. Rather than go somewhere else, she goes straight to the TVA. And that portal that I talked about lingering open long enough, it seemed like Sylvia or Lady Loki wanted Loki to follow her through because it was open for an unusual amount of time. I mean, do these things usually stay open that long? It seemed like an invitation for Loki to follow, but it wasn't. So that just seems weird that these things would just randomly, open and shut so fast, and then in this case just stay open so long. Especially when you consider the fact, anybody can just run off in there if these things typically stay open that long. They can end up with variants in the TVA often. So Loki follows her, arms herself with daggers. She goes and gets in a fight with TVA agents as she tries to make her way to the timekeepers. And just in the moment, you can see TVA agents trying to attack her with their sticks that incinerate people and kill them on the spot. But he's holding it back like that when he comes at her, when he should have it pointed out. That's just minor nitpick. She incinerates these guys that turn out to be revealed to us later on that they're actually variants. They're brainwashed variants. They're pretty much innocent victims that she's just incinerating, and we're supposed to be on her side. But there's a lot of that stuff back and forth in this episode. There are several moments where Loki just kills people randomly or throws them out of a fast-moving train and doesn't care. They walk right past people waiting in line to essentially die, trying to get on some train to go to this arc. They just walk past them. But there are several moments where it's like, I don't care at all, and I care so much. And Loki get a standoff at the TVA. They end up getting transported to a different place where we end up on this planet that is going to die, like Krypton level event. There's no escaping it. It's an apocalypse. The planet's gonna die. Only way off it is this arc. They're in convenient walking distance to everything as they try to find a way to power the little remote that allows them to travel through time to go to the TVA or whatever. They have to find a way to power it. The only thing that can power it is this arc that's meant to take everybody off this planet that's about to die. And just the way they go about it is really strange, because they go to this one woman's house and Sylvia just breaks down the door. The woman, of course, blows her away, not in a way that kills her, but stuns her. And then Loki tries to play the illusion game on her, where he tries to appear as the woman's dead husband. And all this just so they could ask her a question. Why not just knock on somebody's door and ask the question? Why are you going to break down her door? Or Why are you going to appear to be your dead husband if all you really want is to ask her a question? They learn the question after wasting all that time. They go to this train where Loki makes himself appear as one of the officers. Get you on board this thing. So he changes into that, walks her on board there as a sort of prisoner. And it's very strange. At first they won't let them in because they don't have tickets. And this will come up again later. We have two god level characters that create illusions and all that, yet they can't pick up some simple piece of paper or something and just make it look like an official ticket for them both. Lady Loki's in her armor, her Loki gear, and Loki's in this security guard get up. They, after some trouble, actually do get on the train. Walking past all these people waiting in line to get on this train peacefully, just waiting there to get on this train so they can go to this ark that's supposed to save them from death, knowing that not all these people are going to be able to get on that train. They're just waiting there patiently, peacefully, while the world's coming to an end. You've got like 12 hours left, conveniently in walking distance. They board this train. They have a bunch of talk about Loki's mom and love. For some reason, he tries to get information out of her, doesn't get any information out of her. We get information. All we really do is learn more about this version of Loki. This Loki is, the way he talks about his mother, like he's devastated because he knows she's gonna die, but it hasn't happened for him yet. As long as he gets back to his own place in the timeline, he can change that, make a difference or whatever. But there are moments where this Loki acts like he's the Loki we know from Endgame, just because he watched a few clips from the TVA. It's just really strange. Like they're getting mixed up with which Loki is this Loki supposed to be. Sylvia ends up falling asleep on the train, and Loki wakes up to Loki singing and dancing, and there's nothing wrong with Loki sitting down with somebody, a passenger on a train that's supposed to brought on as a prisoner dressed in weird armor, and they're just sitting there having drinks together. He's just like a security officer on the train, a cop, and nobody bats an eye at these two sitting down having drinks and all that until she wakes up and he's singing and he's in a different get up, and then she's like, why'd you change your clothes or whatever? And some dude looks at them suspiciously and then leaves the cart, of course, to go get more guys and come back and try to apprehend them. Why? I don't know why, because the world's coming to an end. I'm not really sure why you would be concerned about stowaways or whatever. It seems really weird, really baffling that they would go through all this effort, and that the only problem would be as Loki suddenly changed his clothes. Everybody's drinking and having a good time. Loki is obviously drinking and having a good time when the world's about to end. All these people are about to die. He knows that. And in Pompeii, he was all happy and stuff, knowing that the apocalypse was about to hit all these people and they were about to die. But there are moments in here where he shows concern about people. When he just a second ago or two or previously in a couple of scenes before had no concern for anybody's well-being at all except his own. They get in this fight with these security guys trying to apprehend them for some baffling reason, and then Loki of course gets thrown out of the train. The remote gets damaged. Sylvia jumps out the train after him because he's got the remote, the thing that they need to go get powered by this arc. That the only thing on this planet that can power it is this arc, not these two god level characters. They can't power this simple remote. There's nothing else on this planet within range that can power this simple remote. You get more filler and fluff, them just talking about their feelings and stuff and walking from point A to point B to point C, everything all within convenient range. A town where they intend to get on this arc, but for some reason, again, local security wants to apprehend them despite the fact that the sky's falling. Loki says something about they're just going to leave them all behind. Like, it's really baffling. It is really baffling. I don't know what this whole episode, the arc ends up getting blown up because the sky's falling or whatever, and pretty much it. It was a waste of time. Complete, utter waste of time. I'm very disappointed. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this episode. I thought it was garbage. Stay awesome. Rock on.